design, it was scale, proportion, and perspective that fascinated her. She loved the plants in her own garden better than hothouse roses. But she did love what you have today, the orchids. She loved those. Even after she had lost much of her sight, nothing thrilled her more than a camellia display or a flower show. She had an eye for beautiful things and was often complimented on her choice of color and design in her clothes. She was indeed a beautiful lady. Betty loved family. She often spoke of her parents who had taught her love, trust, and Christian values, and her brothers. I heard so much about her brothers. Dwayne, who had died many years ago, George, Bob, and Bill, her last three, who she outlived them, but they were living up 24 years ago. They were a part of her. She often recounted her childhood experiences and loved to visit the last three in Ohio and Virginia. She spoke often of her two children, Mike, who is here today, and Jenny, who's at the hospital, her husband. She spoke with such love and tenderness of these two, and she had great pride in her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren, and even two great-greats. Each one held a special place in her heart. There was Beth, who had come to take care of her and died of a heart attack at 45. You remember she did. Just a tragedy. That was when God touched me on the shoulder, and she said one day, how will I get to Ohio and West Virginia? How will I see my family again? And the Lord said, that's how it happened. It never had that happen before or else. But that was it. Beth. And then there's Monica, who is with her mother this afternoon. Monica, the one who went to college and who has a very beautiful family. Gretchen, who is here today, the one who inherited her style, her sense of style. Wonderful. And Joy was another grandchild who was just saying her name to make her happy. Then Mike's children, those are all Jenny's children, and Mike's children. If I miss one, you'll have to tell me, okay? Delight is his wife over here on the end, and they have 6. Is that right? Okay, got it. Gabe, Wendy, Adam, who is here today, and his grandmother always said something about Adam was more special than anything she could ever say about any of her other grandsons. So she only had 2. Right? He's the most special one, but Gabe was wonderful too. And he is. Alyssa, Whitney, and Ariane, and so many Mikes. Well, they all married Mikes. All these girls married Mikes. Whether by blood, by marriage, or by adoption, she cherished them all. She knew the personalities, the temperaments, the likes and dislikes of each, and for many years she bought special cards and gifts for every birthday. Did you know that, guys? You never got them, right? Her only problem was it was just wrapped and mailed. That's right. There's still some there. So much of what she bought stacked up in spare rooms. Anybody who's visited there knows what I'm talking about. Collecting dust and waiting for a time when she could turn them loose. A collection of Barbie dolls. Household items like towels and washcloths. I bet you got 1,000 there. Christmas ornaments. Dishes. My, how she loved dishes. And Matchbox cards. Did you believe that? She had them all. They were actually for Adam, but I think some of his sons got some a year or so ago, 2 years ago or so. But they were so beautiful that she found it difficult to part with them. She said she would let the family figure it out after she was gone.
Thanks a lot.
She often told me that when she couldn't sleep, which was often, she would pray for each one of her family members and wait when she forgot a name, she'd tell God, you know which one I'm talking about. She would forget a lot. Betty loved to travel. Loved to travel. Especially if it meant she would get to visit with family. When, for her 97th birthday, that was last year, today, a year ago today, I drove her to Georgia to share her celebration with her great-great-grandson, who was born on her birthday. Oh, he was born at that time, but he's 2 today. Being with her extended family gave her great joy, and she never complained about how much it hurt to sit in that car for all those hours, but I know it did. Though she had difficulty hearing, Betty loved her friends, and she loved people of all types. She loved to talk. You knew Betty, you knew she loved to talk. She never met a stranger and had an insatiable interest in people. If you were from Ohio, you could expect a long conversation, right? She loved her Lord. She really loved her Lord. She came to the church here. I was a member here for many, many years. She got to the point where she couldn't hear what was going on. And she said the preacher would turn over here for a little while, and then when he get the punchline, he'd go over here. So she
Not me.
No. So she went with me, Rex and I, to McPherson Presbyterian for our Bible study because Jim Randall, she said, she was able to hear him. He was loud enough that she could hear him. Some of you know that's true too. Okay. She believed in forgiveness. Her life was not perfect. Decisions she made weren't always perfect, but she believed in forgiving all in her family and all around her, and that made her a beautiful person. Because of that forgiveness, she was beautiful. She looked forward to seeing her Lord. When I first began to get really interested in Betty's life, she asked me to pick her up, and I couldn't get in the front door because her gardening stuff was in the front. That was about 8 years ago. So when I first became interested in there, then I've got my point there. Okay. She said she wanted to die. She had said, I really feel like I needed to die. Most of her friends were gone. And but she was in pain. And then after then, she got so she was no longer in pain for a good long time. She was using 2 canes. She started using 1. And she really got better. So she had a lot of years in there that she made good use of. But she did look forward to death because it meant she would be with the Lord. Betty enriched my life with her friendship and her loyalty. She inspired me with the way she faced the challenges of aging and of pain. All right? She never complained. She never stopped moving to live again. Her persistence, her sense of humor, her optimism, and her love of life, her love of family, and her love of her friends were what defined her. Soon after her death, near Christmas, I was listening to a modern Christmas song, Mary Did You Know? You may remember the refrain. The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will rise again, the lame will leap, and in the middle of that I said, yes, Lord, that is Betty. No longer mostly blind. You would like have your magnifying glass to read paper, whatever. No longer deaf, no longer lame, but seeing. Imagine seeing the beauty of the sunset. Oh, she can see the beauty of heaven. Hearing her Lord's voice, leaping, praising God. And I don't shed any, and didn't shed a tear when she died. Didn't understand it until I thought about that. And I said, the only kind of tear I would shed was tears of joy. And I praise God for what He has done for Elizabeth, Holloway, my cherished friend.